And you're very welcome along to Father McNamara Park here in Ennis live on Channel Clare. My name is Peter O'Connell and we're going to bring you the live stream of Clare versus Limerick in the Little Woods Ireland Division 1 Camogie League. It's Limerick's first game of the new Camogie season, Clare's second game in this three-team group. They were beaten last weekend by Galway by 5 points. Conditions perfect here in Father McNamara Park. It's sunny, very slight breeze, but overall conditions really good. I'm joined by Limerick player Niamh Ryan. Niamh, unfortunately you've got a bit of an injury, so you'd love to be not talking here and warming up with your teammates, but absolutely perfect afternoon for a match.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately I broke 2 bones in my hand there a week ago, so out today. But yeah, look, the girls are really looking forward today. It's obviously our first game out. Perfect day for us, so hopefully it'll go well. Yeah.
It's days like this, Niamh, I think that we've all missed for the last 12 months.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we've spent long enough at home training on our own, training on Zoom, and it's what everyone needs, you know, be it the players themselves or people looking on. It's great to get back, and hopefully it may continue.
Clare had the game last weekend, Niamh, did well for long stretches against Galway. I suppose the goals made the difference. From a Limerick point of view, coming in a small bit cold, but at the same time knowing a bit more about Clare, having seen them in action.
Yeah, absolutely. The game last week was a brilliant game. Clare put in a fantastic performance for huge parts of that game and really put it up to Galway. Obviously this is our first day out, so we might be lacking that league intensity, but we've had a couple of challenge matches. We got to see them in action last week, so the focus has been on today, and hopefully we can deliver that performance. So
from your own point of view, are you looking at a couple of weeks?
Yeah, hopefully back sooner rather than later, but yeah, we're looking at about another 3 or 4 weeks, so we'll see.
The league is so short that a 2-week injury can rule someone out of the league nearly. Like if
Yeah, for sure. Games are coming quick and fast. Even the roll from the league into the championship is going to be very quick compared to usual. So look, hopefully we'll be back in action for that anyway.
Are you a patient spectator, Niamh? When you should be playing?
I'm not too bad. I'd rather be out hurling, but sure, we'll see what happens.
And just a very last thing before we speak to Roisin McMahon from Clare. How do you think Limerick will approach this? I mean, presumably they'll go all out and try and impose themselves early and see what happens after that.
Yeah, look, we've new management in there, so we've been working hard over the last couple of weeks on different bits and pieces, and we'll really be trying to put those into action today and hopefully delivering the performance we can. So it's tune in from the word go, and hopefully we can do that today.
Thanks indeed to Niamh Ryan.
Cheers.
Very best
Thank
luck with
you.
the injury.
Thank
you, Niamh. We're going to speak now to Clare's Roisin McMahon from the Market in Fergus. Roisin, thanks a lot for joining us.
No problem.
Very similar to Niamh, you'd much prefer to be warming up out there with your teammates.
Oh, definitely, especially on a day like today, sun shining and the pitch looking immaculate. So yeah, no, definitely. But a few more weeks now, and hopefully we'll be back.
It's a glute injury, Roisin,
yeah,
is it?
the glutes not firing as Clare command, the physio would say. So just have to do a little bit of work on those. Yeah, so hopefully now we'll be back soon.
Is it something that players have to look at across all sports, I suppose, kind of not having played matches for so long, and people come back then and different injuries like glutes or hamstrings or things
definitely
like that?
Like we had our own program from January and we were doing that, but once you hit the ground, like comeback training, it's completely different. The twisting, the turning, the tackling, like no amount of training that you'll do on your own will get you ready for that. So yeah, no, it was great to be back, but just a few injuries have crept in. I think I'd say it's the same across all the country, like that kind of way.
So tell us in terms of last week and the performance against Galway. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff, but I suppose the results, you didn't get the win. So there's positives and things to improve on as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. We had a really strong first half performance, and again, as you said, we didn't get the win, but a lot of positives to take. Like we had 2 new girls, Deanne Spillane and Becky Foley, that first time playing with Clare. It was brilliant, and they put in 2 strong performances, so it's brilliant to see the likes of them coming into the panel, and making a difference as well.
We can see Limerick very close to us now, and Clare there in the distance. It's just such a perfect day for hurling, and in fairness, the pitch is immaculate, Russian,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, fair play to Mike Duggan. He's doing a great job here in Fathermac. No, it is, and it's perfect conditions. So hopefully now we'll get a good game, and yeah, we'll come out.
Okay, Roisin, thank you very much,
No
and
problem.
we'll talk to you again at half time. We're going to be talking to Owen Brennan now in a minute to get I suppose a journalistic view on what may or may not happen in this particular game. The game throws in at 4:30. We'll be speaking to Ono when he comes over to the microphone. So the game throws in at 4:30. As I said, sports journalist Owen Brennan joins us. Owen, thanks a lot. So what are you expecting here? It's a hard one to call. You know, I'd say two relatively even teams. Clare maybe having the game last week should be a bit of a help.
Definitely, and obviously home advantage, even though they haven't played here in well over a year, should be a help as well. Look, being honest, like both these teams would have sized this one up when the draw was made for the league. Galway was always going to be that test to see how you get on against a big team, but Clare and Limerick, whatever the sport, they measure up against each other. They're fairly even, and they fancy their chances of winning it. So Limerick will be going into this one a real step into the unknown because they have a new management, a couple of players back. We saw what their juniors have done so far, you know, drawn with Carlow and beating Clare. So I think you're expecting that they've been training hard and there'll be a lot of determination there and see how they go. You're right, Clare have a game under their belt. They had a good performance against Galway. That's probably our best performance against one of the top 2 or 3 in many years. So a lot is expected of this Clare team, and you're hoping that game will stand to them today.
The goals last week, Owen, that Clare conceded, ultimately they were the difference, weren't they? So I suppose that's one key area they'll be looking to make sure that they don't concede soft goals today.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, first game out, I mean, it's a well-worn thing at this stage. We're talking about all these blowing off the cobwebs and all that. It was a good first performance. You know, you're going to have errors, you're going to have defensive lapses. Clare, you know, probably last year and the previous couple of years under Ger, you know, we've been strong at the back, maybe not scoring enough goals at the other end. So we want to rectify that as well. Obviously not leak them. You don't want to concede 3 goals in any game, but I think the performance is what they would have been looking for day one. But the second day out, you're looking for a result, and that's what I think they need today.
Okay, thanks indeed to Owen Brennan. Enjoy the game, Owen. We're going to be speaking now to our co-commentator Anne-Marie McGann in a second. But just very quickly, I'll run through the two teams. Clare line out with Darren Murphy in goals, full back line of Ciara Grogan, Claire Herr captain at full back, and coming in at left cornerback, Roisin Minogue from Bodyke. Half back lined in Alana Ryan from Kilkishen, centre back Laura McMahon, Newmarket and Ferguson, left half back Sinead Conlon from Tulla, midfield Zian Spillane, Fecal Kilnina, parted by Aoife Keane, Aina Killamona, Maura McGrath, 6 Mile Bridge, Chloe Morey, also 6 Mile Bridge, and Orla Duggan from Clooney Quinn, the half forward line, and the full forward line, Alton Lara, Emer Kelly, Anya Loughlin, and Becky Foley. And the Clare team, the Limerick team, they line out with Laura O'Neill from the Piersic in goals, Marion Quaid, Bruff, Murren Kramer, Cappamore, and Mairead Ryan, Clooney Quinn in the full back line, Megan O'Mara, Mona Lean, Judith Mulcahy Ahan, and Roisin Ambrose, Newcastle West in the half back line, midfield Karen O'Leary, Newcastle West, partnered by Ashton Scanlon, Killeedy, half forward line Cueva Lyons, Mona Lean, Deborah Murphy, Newcastle West, Sophia O'Callaghan Adair, and the full forward line Anya Cunningham, Killeedy, full forward Rebecca DeLee, Newcastle West, and wearing number 15 Cueva Costello from Adair. And just before we go up to the commentary box, Anne-Marie, you saw the conditions in the first game. They're very similar, a bit of a breeze, but like perfect pitch, I suppose, in terms of hurling.
Yeah, and in fairness, there was kind of a question this morning whether it was going to be cut or not, and I think they just left it perfect. The breeze is actually picking up and it's going down. It was across the field a bit more in the first half, but Limerick seem to be on the ball here now, and they're putting the girls through a great workout. There's one player who's been called up from the juniors from last week, Anya Cunningham. She's flung straight in corner forward. She did serious damage against us last week. She scored 5 points, so whoever's marking her will have to keep right on top of her. You know, the likes of Niamh Mulcahy and all those are a big loss, but Pat and the Limerick crew are going with youth and trying to build from that, and in fairness he seems to have got the Limerick contingent back on board. There's a new county board. Everything seems to be refreshed inside there, and they have a strong team out. And I definitely think there's going to be nothing in this game. In this game, if you think back to 2017 when they won the Munster, it was excellent. But Clare will have to put down a marker here today and try and match them in every position.
Okay, we're a minute away from the national anthem here in Father McNamara Park, so myself and Anne-Marie are going to go into the commentary box, and we're going to hear the national anthem then in a minute from Clare MacDonald from Rouen. So really looking forward to that. So myself and Anne-Marie will go back up into the commentary box as throw-in time nears here in Father McNamara Park. The game, of course, is throwing in at 4:30, and it's approaching 4:30 now at this stage. As we said, two teams have been warming up fairly vigorously, and they're all but ready to start here. And Anne-Marie, like from a Clare point of view, the performance today will be really, they'd love to follow up a good performance last week with another good performance, but a win.
Yeah, I suppose this word performance is probably thrown around an awful lot, but when it comes down to it, a win is a win, and Clare need the win here today. And I think that it'll be very much matched, but it's just a matter of Clare marking up, keeping on top of everything, the work rate. If they work as hard as Limerick, they'll come out on top, because I think after the Galway display last week, they played 35 minutes excellent camogie, probably the best camogie at senior standard I've seen in an awful long time.
We're going to go now for the national anthem, and the national anthem is going to be sang by Clare MacDonald from Rouen.
Sheena fina foil at off when yallegeren buin thar sul artina rani coim fe boy dresser shantir and shin fasta ni over winter and night wintra and all the hands upon the will legalim wekan barsto ser lekan iswell vinana shani kani gara in the
And thanks indeed, and well done to Clare MacDonald for a rousing rendition of our own Naveen. Justin Heffernan, the match referee, he's ready to go. The two teams going through a couple of last minute stretches, last minute chat, as Clare, they're in a circle there and just getting a couple of runs in. Limerick getting a couple of runs in as well. It's game time at this stage, so I suppose the time for talking is almost over, and it'll be really interesting, Anne-Marie, to see how Limerick get on in what is their first game under new management.
Yeah, and look, I was saying to the lads here on the sideline, Pat Ryan has taken over this year. This is Limerick's, I think it's 5th manager in 4 seasons. They really needed a bit of stability, and they've got that in Pat. And look, they arrived down when we played them below in Limerick last week. They had a serious setup, and you knew when you walked in, God, we were under the cosh already before the game even started. So look, he's going to be looking to bring that here today, and to try and set down a marker in Father Mac. Let's hope the Clare get off to a good start.
Justin Heffernan is on the point of blowing the match opening whistle. The teams, generally from what I can see, seem to be lining out as selected. Yep. Just one change in personnel in the Clare team from the programme, and that's Roisin Minogue from Woodike coming in at cornerback. The first attack of the game is by Limerick, but Clare holding it up reasonably well, but eventually the Limerick number 10 gets away. Cueva Lyons from Monaleen struck great that score. Well, and that's straight over the bar, and a great start from Limerick. 20 seconds, first attack, bit of a ruck, and Cueva Lyons did very well to emerge with the ball and get a good clean strike in. Darren Murphy now from Clarecastle, she's looking for options out the field, lands it on top of the Clare number 12, Orla Duggan. Ball goes to ground. Limerick cornerback pulls in it Marion Quaid from Bruff. The ball goes out over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball to Clare. So we're just going to see who's going to take this. Zian Spillane is near it, but the left half back from Tulla, Sinead Conlon, is going to take it right in front of us here in the commentary position in Father McNamara Park for this Little Woods Ireland Division 1 League round 2 game. Well, it's round 2 for Clare. Limerick's first game in this 3-team league. Clare now through Aoife Keane switched to play from Mina Kilmona. Good ball across the field, but Limerick break up that particular attack and pick it up, and their wing back, left half back, Roisin Ambrose from Newcastle West emerges with the ball, drives it up the field. Out in front was initially Limerick corner forward Becky Foley, but Cueva Costello, but Clare won it back. Referee's whistle goes for a chop, and that was good defending there from Roisin Minogue at cornerback. So just taking a small bit of time for the game to settle down, but Limerick would be very happy with that opening point. One shot, 1 point.
Well, I suppose Roisin would be more delighted to get that free, because she's coming in instead of the injured Ciara Doyle, and she needed that to probably get settled on the game. And Laura McMahon here now to steady things, probably drive it up straight up the wing, and Maureen McGrath is cutting straight across the field to try and receive it.
Yeah, good movement there from Maureen McGrath. Nice ball in as far as Becky Foley did well to try and create a bit of space there, but Limerick have won it back. Limerick the centre back wins it back, but Becky Foley has it again now, pulls in it in as far as the full forward line. Emer Kelly's inside battling for it, as is Anya O'Loughlin, and all through Clonlara full forward line. Clare have it again now. The ball goes out 45. Over the end line, and it's a 45. That was good pressure from Limerick, but also good battling from Anya O'Loughlin as well to win the 45. And the breeze, Anne-Marie, it's lively enough, but it's not. I wouldn't describe it as a game-defining breeze.
No,
but it's probably slightly behind Limerick, is it, or is it going to be crossfield?
It's going slightly with Limerick, but if you look at the far over corner flag, it kind of seems to be swirling over there. But I don't think it'll have much of an impact on the game. But we'll know now when Chloe takes this 45.
Chloe Murray, 6 Mile Bridge, wearing number 11. We know how deadly she is from the dead ball. This would be a really good start for Clare to put over first.
Great strike.
Clear scoring opportunity, and well, that's exactly what Chloe Murray does. No major surprise there, and it's great, Anne-Marie, for any team to have somebody who can bang over 45s and long range frees, close in frees, and just to be very confident all the time that they can do that.
And be very reliable. You knew when Chloe, the minute she hit it, the minute she ran away from it, she knew it was going straight over the black spot, and that's what Chloe brings to it, I suppose, a bit of confidence in taking frees or 45s.
Sophie O'Callaghan now on the far side of the field does well, picks it up under a bit of pressure. Good ball forward, but well cut out and really well read by Clare's number 10, Mara McGrath. Great stuff from Mara McGrath, breaking forward now, tries to find a teammate in space. She picks out Emer Kelly, who played so well last weekend against Galway, gets it back as far as Zian Spillane from Fecal Kilnina. That's good stuff now from Clare, trying to knit together a move, but eventually the end product wasn't from Mara McGrath, wasn't the best, and
it's okay. You'd never say anything to anyone for giving a shot anyway in the first couple of minutes and see can they gauge their
absolutely
flight of ball.
Limerick working this out now really well between Marion Quaid and Megan O'Mara, but well cut out there by Clare's Chloe Murray. That's good stuff from Chloe Murray. It's always coaches, managers, Anne-Marie, as you know, love to see forwards putting tackles in.
It's the first line of defence really, Peter, and that's what Clare need to be doing today.
Cueva Lyons has it now, bangs it in towards the full forward line, good ball in, and the full forward inside, Rebecca DeLee, puts the hand up. She's going to take on the Clare full back, Clare Hare, the captain from Mina Kilmona. Great block down from Clare Hare, great defending. Clare pick it up now and try and burst out. Zian Spillane, well read, links up nicely with the cornerback Ciara Grogan from Clooney Quinn. Ciara Grogan bangs it up the field, but really well read by the opposite cornerback, Mairead Ryan from Clooney Quinn. That's great hurling from Limerick. Can they link up now? The final pass just wasn't there. It was a really good run from Ashton Scanlon, but it was superbly cut out by Aoife Keane from Mina Kilmona. But Limerick win it back, and some of the distribution from both sides in the first few minutes not great. You can see, I suppose, as Clare Hare looks to emerge with the ball here and does well to hold on to it and find Sinead Conlon, you can see great intensity from both sides, but just lacking a small little bit of cohesion. Good battle between Emer Kelly and Mairead Ryan, and that's going to be a really interesting battle, Anne-Marie, because we've seen you know how dangerous Emer Kelly is, and Mairead Ryan.
We're looking at Mairead in the club championships, every year, and she's a solid player, and Limerick
really good experience
there.
Zian Spillane has it again now. She's been involved in a lot of the games so far. Tries to find Emer Kelly. Emer Kelly battling for it inside, but it's well cut out by the Limerick centre back Judith Mulcahy from Adair. Judith Mulcahy loses possession, however it spills, but Limerick win it back and drive it down the field. Road 1, that's it's in over the top of Ciara Grogan. Ani Cunningham from Killeedy goes down the ball, does well under pressure from Ciara Grogan. Can she create an angle for a shot? She does, but hits it. That should be cut out. The hand goes up, misses it, but Clare Herher doesn't miss it, reads that extremely well, finds Zian Spillane. Zian Spillane has been involved in numerous plays so far. Chloe Murray spreads it, she finds Orla Duggan. Orla Duggan goes to ground and wins the free. It's about just maybe a touch over 50 yards out, and this is an opportunity now for Chloe Murray to put over her second and Clare's second point. It's a point each here in Father McNamara Park in Ennis. Referee
yellow card,
yellow card to Limerick's Sophie O'Callaghan.
Good ball out there, in fairness. They worked it straight through the lines all the time and nobody seemed to panic, and Zian Spillane has probably been a revelation. Last week she was outstanding against Galway and really stood up to the mark, and I suppose when you bring in younger players like that, they don't really know or understand the heights that Galway can play at and have never experienced that, so she's kind of going into the unknown and she just plays away on her own game, whereas you have more experienced players that are like, oh, we're going playing Galway now and we know maybe what we're facing. She went straight in last week and took the juggler, I suppose, for Clare, and played excellent camogie, and she's a serious engine on her. She's able to keep going for the whole game, and Clare have worked that well out now, and hopefully Chloe will get another score from this. But Limerick are settling a small bit more than Clare at the moment, and I think that if Limerick can get the ball into their forwards at all, there could be a problem on.
Chloe Murray now standing over the ball. That free won by Orla Duggan. Chloe Murray strikes it well. Unfortunately, from a Clare point of view, it drifts just wide. So the scoreline remains as it was, a point each, and the Limerick goalkeeper Laura O'Neill from the Piercig is going to take this puck out, drives it good and high and long. It's a fine puck out, but it's really well cut out there by Sinead Conlon, but she misplaces the pass. Limerick's Deborah Murphy has it now from Newcastle West, transfers as far as Carna Leary. Carna Leary goes to ground, no free. I thought that was definitely a free, to be fair, for Limerick, but the referee didn't see it that way. He's blown the whistle and he's going to probably throw it in.
Laura's probably lucky to get away with that now. I thought she definitely tried to cut out her path for the run, but Limerick are trying to do the running game straight off the shoulder, and Clare will have to watch that straight through the middle. Referee Justin Heffernan throws the ball in. Quivalines from one lean battling for it, but Laura McMahon wins it back for Clare. Good stuff from Laura McMahon, but overcarries. And I mentioned it already, Anne-Marie, but from the point of view of anyone on any team, coach or player, you love to see the forwards making it very, very difficult for the opposition backs to come out with the ball. That's exactly what Limerick did, and they've won a free, and Quiva Costello more than likely is going to put this over the bar. And it was unlucky for Laura because her hand got caught with the Limerick player. She tried to release it twice, but it's hard. I suppose you can get away with it in camogie by throwing the ball forward or hand passing it forward. In hurling you can't do that, so maybe it's something that players should be working on if they're getting up in a tangle.
Quiva Costello does the needful, puts it straight over the bar. That's Limerick's second point. They lead Clare by 2 points to 1. We've had 9.5 minutes of this Little Blues Ireland Division 1 league game streaming live on Channel Clare in association with the Camogie Association and the Clare Camogie County Board from Father McNamara Park in Ennis. Chloe Murray does well, picks up the break, slightly mishits that pass. It should be cut out by the Limerick cornerback Marion Quaid from Brough. But she loses possession. Clare defending well from the front themselves. Marion Quaid pulls in that as well a second time. Becky Foley's inside battling for it. The linesman's flag goes up and the referee's whistle blows. It's going to be a line ball to Clare, and the line ball is going to be taken by Chloe Murray. So it's just inside the 45, a few yards inside the 45-yard line. The breeze, as we mentioned earlier on, it's a fresh breeze, but it's not a huge factor. Chloe Murray fresh air is the first one, doesn't fresh air the second one, gets it across the goal mouth, but well cut out there by the Limerick full back Maureen Kramer. That's good defending from the Camogie girl. The centre forward, Limerick centre forward, has now Deborah Murphy. She's breaking forward, lovely ball to her half forward colleague Quiva Lyons. Quiva Lyons trying to make room for the strike, puts that straight over the bar, and that's a very impressive point.
She's a great player. Quiva Lyons is a well experienced player, and she's 2 points on the board already for Limerick, and constantly running for the pass from her teammates, and that was a great score by her.
And that's why Limerick lead by 3 points to 1 after 11 minutes. Mairead Ryan battling for the ball, goes to ground. It should be won here by Emer Kelly. Emer Kelly goes to ground as well. Certainly it's great to see such I suppose intensity. Referee's right arm goes up into the air, the whistle blows, he points at one of the Clare players and he says that's a free out to Limerick from their own 45. So the free out is going to be taken on the far side of the field. It's going to be taken I think by Mairead Ryan. Strikes the ball down the field, good pass. Limerick's possession plays very beautiful touch from Quiva Lyons. That's a fantastic touch. She transfers it to Deborah Murphy. Can she control it? She can't, because Clare win it back. That's great defending from Zian Spillane. Excellent stuff from the Field Kilkenny midfielder. Clare now trying to break out with Alana Ryan from Kilkishen. She gets it forward as far as Emer Kelly. Emer Kelly looks up, great strike, hits it, but it goes eventually went wide, and despite the best efforts inside of Anya O'Loughlin, Emer Kelly probably going for the point, got a good strike in, it just didn't have the accuracy. Quick puck out from Limerick goalkeeper Laura O'Neill, finds Marion Quaid trying to break out, but she's under huge pressure. That's superb stuff from Becky Foley. The shot comes in, but it drops short. The shot from Anya O'Loughlin. It was great work before that from Becky Foley, but Limerick escaped, and that was good goalkeeping there from Laura O'Neill, kept her eye on the ball. Anya Cunningham now from Killeedy has the ball far side of the field, tries to link up with the full forward, but Clare Herher cut it out. I didn't see what happened there, Anne-Marie. I thought earlier on, a few minutes ago, Limerick definitely should have had a free that they didn't get, but I didn't see exactly what happened there. So the referee clearly did, I think, indicate that he might have seen a top. So he's obviously closer than we are, and this free now is going to be taken again by Quiva Costello, this time from the far side of the field, out near the sideline. So it must have been some kind of a late tackle. That
difficult free now to take going across the field like this, straight over to the far side, and the breeze has kind of, just like I say, it had picked up, but it has died down a little bit on the far corner flags. You can't see them blowing as much. Well,
if Quiva Costello puts over this, there'll be some great free strike. It's gone straight over the bar. That's an absolutely superb free from Quiva Costello. One free from either side by the player from Adair, and Limerick have started impressively here. There's no doubt about it. 13 and a half minutes gone, and they're leading Clare by 4 points to 1. Limerick have a fairly clear structure in terms of how they work the ball. The centre back now, Judy Mackay, goes down and has time to look up, tries to spread the play to the far side of the field. Clare, Alana Ryan thought it might have been a free. The referee says it is a free this time for a foul on Ciara Grogan. So the pressure lifts a small bit on Clare around their own half back line. That was good defending from Ciara Grogan, and the free is going to be taken now by Laura McMahon. We're speaking to her sister Roisin before the game. She's out with a glute injury. We'll be speaking to her again at half time, and we'll also be getting a bit of half time analysis from Limerick's Niamh Ryan, who's also injured. Chloe Murray wins it, turns, strikes, hits it wide again, and the referee, however, has said it's a free in. I think he might have been playing advantage, so that's it's going to be a free in from a very good angle from Chloe Murray's point of view, about roughly 35-36 yards out, and Chloe Murray should be well able to put this over the bar. Clare need a score. Limerick have started so well, leading by 4 points to 1 after 15 minutes, so we're not too far away from the from the first half water break. Chloe Murray standing over this now. She's taken 2 frees, put over one from 45 yards out, missed the second one, doesn't miss this one, absolutely no doubt about it, and that's Clare's second point, and both of them coming from Chloe Murray frees. Limerick now take the puck out very, very quickly, tried to spread the pace. Superb hand from Sinead Conlon from Tulla, cut that out really well, but the pass wasn't the best and it's cut out now by the Limerick wing back, Roisin Ambrose. She drives it in as far as the full forward. 3 Clare defenders inside. Roisin Minogue picks it up. Good defending from Clare. The Clare midfielder,
Well done, Aoife.
Keane, breaks out. Shift the tackle across the shoulder. The Anna Killamona player won the free, and free will be taken again by Laura McMahon. She's going to be looking maybe for a bit of movement inside from the full forward line. A couple of very dangerous inside forwards that Clare will be very, very keen to get into the game. So Laura McMahon now stands over it, hits it, strikes it well, aiming it in towards Emer Kelly. A Limerick hurl player gets the ball first. The ball is popped off as far as Chloe Murray. Chloe Murray hits that, and that's straight over the bar. Clare's third point, Chloe Murray's third point, her first in play, and it's 4 points to 3. And that's I suppose the perfect action from the referee's point of view in which to call for the half time for the first half water break. And we've seen a lot of good play from, I suppose, from both sides in different ways. Anne-Marie Soper.
Yeah, it has been good. That was great work there by Becky Foley first to get the ball out as far as Chloe Murray. But the problem is we've only a 45 and a free and a point scored, and they're all coming from Chloe Murray. Whereas Cueva Lyons has 2 points scored, Cueva Costello a point and a free. Limerick seem to be spreading the ball across the field a lot more, and Clare have deadly forwards. You know, Emer Kelly's in around there, she's doing an awful lot of work. As I said already, Myra McGrath had probably the best game I've seen her in a number of years last week against Galway. If they could get her on the ball a bit more and try dictate the play, because she has serious experience. But Clare are defending well. Roisin Minogue has slotted in quite well for Ciara Doyle into cornerback, and she seems to be gathering a lot of ball there. They seem to be able to work it out as far as midfield, but the problem is then deliver the ball as quick as you can into those forwards, because the likes of Emer Kelly, all those have blistering pace, just take on the backs. I think Limerick will be a little bit more happier now as we're 16 minutes in. They seem to be a little bit more settled, but it's time yet. You know, Clare will probably be a little bit nervous. This is a do or die game really for Clare. But, you know, once they kind of settle down at a small bit, and I think that if they get more of Zian Spillane into doing a bit of running, Aoife Keane shipped a hard tackle there, and just, I suppose, play a little bit freer, and like they did against Galway in the first 30-35 minutes, see how they get on, and they can reassess things then at half time. But, you know, it is a very close game, and I think everyone knew that probably coming in today, that it was going to be close.
Very interesting as well to see that Limerick were split into 2 groups there. The forwards gathered on one side of the field with a couple of coaches, and the backs and midfielders gathered at the other side with different coaches. So interesting, and I suppose an indication of how well organised Limerick are. Clare player goes to ground. Chance now for Limerick's Cueva Costello. She creates the space, and that's an absolutely magnificent point from the Limerick corner forward, Cueva Costello. That was so well struck, and that's her third point. It's Limerick's 5th, and they lead 5-3. And she really looks like quite a player as Aisling Scanlon hits it forward, but well cut out by Clare and banged forward there by Maura McGrath, but cut out by Limerick. Thought that might have been a touch of barging, but the referee didn't see it that way. And Aisling Scanlon battling now for Limerick on the far side of the field. 4 or 5 players around the ball. Sophia Callahan in there as well, but eventually a Clare player emerges with the ball. Opportunity here now for Clare's Emer Kelly. She's cutting through, but the referee says she overcarried, a bit unlucky. And just looking, Anne-Marie, Limerick seem to be a small bit more structured in their play. They're kind of looking to work the ball a bit more.
There's been a couple of rucks, and Limerick were coming out them, and Emer was great to get that ball out there and definitely take it on. That's what she brings to it. There was a mile of space in front of her, just got caught, unfortunately, for steps.
Karen O'Leary hits a dangerous ball in around, and it's banged into the back of the net. The ball broke back, and it was superbly finished by it looked like Rebecca DeLee. Rebecca DeLee was definitely in there, as was Cueva Costello, and it was a long ball forward from Karen O'Leary. It was batted out by Darren Murphy, and the Limerick inside forward finished it, and Limerick now lead by 1-5 to 3 points. So that score could be crucial as Ciara Grogan battles along with Alana Ryan from Kilkishen on the far side of the field. Nice ball infield to Zian Spillane. Zian Spillane has 2 Limerick players up against her, but gets it away to her midfield partner Aoife Keane. Aoife Keane bangs it up the line, but there was a bit of a breakdown in communication there, because whoever Aoife was giving it to didn't make the run that she was expecting. I think she was looking for Emer Kelly inside, but there was a bit of a breakdown in communication, and the ball went out over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball on the far side of the field to Limerick, who remember is their first game of the league, and they've certainly started. They've started very, very well. The full forward now is well beaten this time by Clare Hare. Clare Hare thought she might have been pushed in the back. Referee doesn't see it that way. She went to ground. Limerick in again now. Their corner forward has it. Caoimhe Costello again. They're trying to create a bit of a space back as far as the full forward. She strikes it superbly. Rebecca DeLee straight over the bar, and Limerick well in control at this stage. It's still early in the game, of course. We're still only just over 20 minutes into the first half, but Limerick lead by 1-6 to Clare's 3 points. Opportunity now here for Chloe Murray. Chloe Murray back to Maura McGrath hits it from distance, and that's a great point. And that was badly needed.
Badly needed. Mara did a great ball into the hand there, gave it to Chloe. Chloe gave it back, and Chloe then put it over the bar. That was badly needed now to settle down things a bit.
Great score from Chloe Murray. So that's Clare's 4th point. Limerick 1-6, Clare 4 points far side of the field. And yet again, Caoimhe Costello, super strike, straight over the bar. Very simple, and well, when a player of that ability gets that kind of opportunity, she usually takes it, and Caoimhe Costello has been absolutely on fire so far in this Little Ones Ireland Division 1 league game in Father McNamara Park here in Ennis. Clare know they need to do something to get back into this game. Alana Ryan has it, she's blocked down. The ball breaks in the middle of the park, and let's see who's gonna pick it up here. It's Chloe Murray. Good ball into space. She's trying to pick out one of the inside forwards. The inside forward on this occasion is Becky Foley. Becky Foley tries to go down the ball under huge pressure from two Limerick defenders. Holds them off. She's blocked down. Limerick bringing real intensity to this game, and the referee says that Becky Foley was I think charging. It's going to be free out to Limerick, and really good defending there from Limerick. They lead by 6 points, 1-7 to 4 points, and we've had 22 and a half minutes of the first half, so about 8 minutes plus a few minutes injury time. Roisin Minogue picks it up, pops it inside as far as Aoife Keane. Aoife Keane is blocked down. Great hurling from Deborah Murphy. Deborah Murphy spreads the play to the far side of the field, in towards her corner forward, Anya Cunningham. Anya Cunningham goes down the ball under pressure. A lot of pressure from Ciara Grogan, but she's taking it on. She gets past Ciara Grogan, gets the shot in, puts it over the bar. Actually, doesn't put it over the bar, put it wide. It looked over from here. I thought it was over, but the umpire is very, very close to it. That was great hurling from Limerick until the finish.
That's Sonia Cunningham that was playing against us last week, scored 5 or 6 points. She destroyed us on her own, and that's what she brings to it. She'll be disappointed now that didn't go over, but she has serious pace.
Limerick have been very impressive. That should have been their 8th point. It wasn't, but aside from the finish, it was a great move. Ball goes all over the end line. Goes all over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball now for Clare. And this line ball just in front of our commentary position here in Father McNamara Park is going to be taken by Chloe Murray. Chloe Murray, such a good striker of the ball, whether it's from free or from line ball, gets behind that really well, but all on her own is the Limerick centre back, Judith Mulcahy from Ahan, and she finds her cornerback Marion Quaid. Marion Quaid drives the ball down the field. It should be cut out by Sinead Conlon. Sinead Conlon under a lot of pressure from Limerick's Cueva Lines from Mona Lean. Ball goes all over the sideline, and that pressure high up the field from Limerick, they're really well coached in terms of tackling high up the field, making it difficult for Clare to break out and to string a couple of passes together. And
the backs under serious pressure now. They're putting Clare backs. Every time they go for the ball, there's 2 or 3 Limerick players around them. It's something that Clare are going to have to work on and get back and help out.
This line ball now is going to be taken by Caoimhe Costello. She gets behind it well. It's nicely struck, but excellent goalkeeping from Darren Murphy from Clarecastle. Comes out, loses possession. Sinead Conlon has it now. Sinead Conlon finds Zian Spillane. Zian Spillane tries to get it forward as far as Clare Hare. Clare Hare has to turn back and try and win it back. Emer Kelly is way back there, back 40 yards out. A big ruck around the place now. Emer Kelly battling really well for this ball. Limerick player goes to ground. The Limerick player was Anya Cunningham. Referee, no sign of him blowing his whistle yet. He's just going to let him battle away and let somebody win it, and eventually somebody might come out with it. Limerick do come out with it, spread the play a small bit. Great chance of a point here, and it is straight over the bar yet again from Caoimhe Costello, and she's deadly. And any chance at all she gets, her striking is so clean, and that was really a really good point. But Clare will be very disappointed. And Marie, that I suppose they didn't win the ball themselves and come out of that ruck. And
seems to be a lot of those rucks developing, and it's Limerick that seems to be getting out of them. It's Emer Kelly had to come back to try and help out. She's moved out a lot around the middle of the field now, and being back there trying to win a ruck is the wrong place for her to be.
Emer Kelly now in the middle of the field as Chloe Murray wins a free, the far side of the field. The linesman has got his flag up, so I assume
that's Liz Dempsey over there.
Liz Dempsey has got her flag up, so let's see what's going to happen now. Is there going to be a substitution, or does she just want to talk to the ref, or what's happening? There is a...
I'd say Sinead Conlon is going. Sinead Conlon is going, Susan Daly is on. So
Susan Daly comes in for Clare. She comes in corner back, and Ciara Grogan moves out to left half back. So that's the...
Susan Daly came on against Galway last week, and in fairness, she did very well. So I'd say they're trying to settle things down a small bit. But Caoimhe Costello has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points already, 4 from play. So they need to settle it down back there. Good
Chloe
point from
Murray
Chloe.
hits this one and strikes that free over the bar. That's Clare's 5th point, so it's down to a 6-point game. About 27 minutes gone in the first half. Limerick 1-8, Clare 5 points. Super puck out from Laura O'Neill, landing on the Clare 45. Limerick battling hugely for it now in the middle of the field, and Aisling Scanlon had it, but she's been robbed by Zian Spillane. Zian Spillane gets it forward. Is there a small bit of space now for Aoife Keane? She's gone into the forward line. Superb defending from Mairead Ryan. Cut that out. Showed great experience and technique, and a lovely short pass. Limerick centre forward Deborah Murphy looks up, tries to find a player inside. Anya Cunningham is that player. She's involved in a race with the Clare sub Susan Daly. Anya Cunningham wins it, tries to link up with a runner from the outside. That's great stuff from Limerick. Full forward is in now. Rebecca DeLee is held up. Referee says that's a free in.
Should be a throw ball now because she swung back.
Rebecca DeLee reacts a small bit, see what's going to happen here now with the ref. He's pulling aside Clare centre back Laura McMahon, and presumably if he pulls her aside he might produce a card. So he's having a good chat with Laura McMahon, and we'll see what's going to happen. Laura McMahon is saying that maybe it wasn't quite as serious as the referee thinks, but he's Justin Heffernan is writing definitely Laura's name into the book, and he's given her a yellow card, and this is going to be a free in when play resumes.
In fairness, I thought that the Limerick player as well swung back a bit. I thought it should have been a throw ball, not being anyway biased or anything like that, but she definitely remonstrated afterwards. So look, Darren will probably, I'd back Darren now, to be fair, to get a hurley to this, but you wouldn't know, would Limerick just take the point and plough on for 28? It's not 28 minutes.
It's not a free, it's a penalty, and it's going to be taken by Caoimhe Costello. She goes for the goal and absolutely hammers it into the back of the net, and Limerick extend their lead 14 points to 5, 2-8 to 5 points, a 9-point lead for Limerick as we approach the 29th minute here in Father McNamara Park.
If you saw that penalty in hurling, I mean, everyone would be talking about that. Was just a rasper straight into the top right hand corner. Not a hope for Darren, but you know, a brilliant penalty.
That was absolutely superb. Karen O'Leary strikes the ball forward. Limerick absolutely on fire, and none more so than their corner forward Caoimhe Costello. Aside from that strike, she has been brilliant.
Yeah,
she's out in front all the time, and Emer Kelly now wins the puck out. Emer Kelly normally inside the full forward line. She links up with Alana Ryan, but Emer Kelly has had to come out the field to try and get involved in the play. Such has been Limerick's dominance up to this point. Maura McGrath goes down the ball. Maura McGrath looks cross field. Nice ball across. Lovely. Great opportunity now for the Clare corner forward, and the shot goes wide from Becky Foley. It was a great ball from Maura McGrath. It was so well won by Becky Foley. The turn was lovely and sharp, but the finish just wasn't there.
That's what you want to see, Maura McGrath getting on more ball, because she's such a crisp pass to Becky Foley. In fairness, it was a good shot just wide of the mark, but Clare will be a little bit more improved by that.
Limerick's hands, as we can see in front of us here from Cueva Lyons, very, very impressive. Cueva Lyons under a bit of pressure from Ciara Grogan, gets the ball as far as Cueva Costello. That's a dangerous ball in, but well won inside by the Clare goalkeeper Darren Murphy. Darren Murphy now looks out towards the far side of the field, but it's going to be cut out there by Roisin Ambrose from Newcastle West. She links up with Sophia Callahan from Madeira in towards the centre forward Deborah Murphy. Deborah Murphy has time, space and a great opportunity to put over Limerick's 9th point. Super score.
That was a great piece of play by Limerick.
So fluent, passing, beautiful. Clare are in serious trouble here.
Serious trouble. Like, in fairness now, that was crisp, as you could see from a Limerick perspective. Straight ball to hand every time here. In fairness, Cueva Lyons did an awful lot of work here right in front of us, and the ball was hit in there by Cueva Costello in. It's just, it's actually lovely to watch. Straight. We'd always be saying to get the ball to hand, it's so much easier. You're saving a lot more energy when you're playing hurling or football. And in fairness, Limerick are probably living and breathing this at the moment. They're checking here to see how long is 2.5 minutes from now. 2.5
minutes left. Emer Kelly getting a bit of treatment. Hopefully she's okay. It's a 10-point game. We're into injury time. 2-9. That's Limerick. Clare's 5 points. 15 points to 5 as we approach half time. So this puck out now is going to be taken by Darren Murphy. Darren Murphy hoists it. It's a good long puck out. She's landing it on top of Orla Duggan. Orla Duggan pulls in the ball where it's cut out by Marion Quaid. Marion Quaid has been playing very well inside cornerback. She pops it back as far as her teammate Karen O'Leary. Karen O'Leary drives it up the field. Great hand there from Roisin Minogue. That was good play from Roisin Minogue. As far as Ciara Grogan. Ciara Grogan links up with Aoife Keane. Aoife Keane now taking on the Limerick centre forward Deborah Murphy. Aoife Keane is fouled, and this free is going to be taken nice and quickly by Clare's Maura McGrath. The referee says bring it forward. So this should be a chance for Chloe Murray maybe to put this over the bar. Clare need everything they can get now at this stage. She's about 50 yards out, dead straight in front of the goal, and Chloe Murray stands over this, strikes it well. That's a good pure strike, no question, over the bar. Clare add a badly needed point, and the score now as we approach half time, Limerick 2-9, Clare 6 points, so 15 points to 6. It's a 9-point game. Limerick's puck out strategy has been really impressive. Laura O'Neill can mix along with the short, and it really has been a central part of Limerick's dominance of this game, as Clare however win this, and Roisin Minogue breaks out. That's good play from Roisin Minogue from Bodyke up to the point where she gave the pass, where the pass is cut out. Limerick centre forward Deborah Murphy wins it. Limerick now in space, and when Cueva Costello is in space, you might as well just put up the flag, and that's exactly what the umpire has done, because if you give her space, it's gone over the bar in the story, and that's Limerick's 10th point. Limerick leading by 2 goals and 10 points to Clare's 6 points. Darren Murphy drives it long again down towards Chloe Murray. Chloe Murray puts the hand up, brings it down well. This is good hurling from great Clare, and that's a great score from Orla Duggan. And when you can bang a puck out up the field like that and win it, and hold on to it and give the pass to the runner in Orla Duggan, well, that's that was a good score, but it was a badly needed score as well. Half time, referee Justin Heffernan has blown his whistle, and Limerick lead at half time by 2-10 to Clare's 7 points, and that first half passed at a
blistering pace,
a lightning pace.
In fairness, Limerick seemed to be just tipping around the ball a lot. I don't know, they'll have to make a change on it for Cueva Costello. I don't think it's any one player's fault here, but they're going to have to put someone on top for, maybe just put Clare Herr out on top for and take her out of the full back position, because Cueva now has scored a goal and 5 points and 1 free. She's cleaning up inside there. I don't know, they're going to have to do something anyway. It seems to be that Cueva Lyons gets the ball, she gives it as far as Cueva Costello, and it's straight over the bar, and Cueva seems to be able to poke it from everywhere. It's settling to see that at least Orla Duggan has got on the scoreboard from play here, because just before half time Clare badly needed it, and I think, I don't know, there'll probably be a couple of changes coming here now in the next few minutes.
Yeah, it certainly has been a very It's been a great first half from Limerick. They've played all the hurling. Everything about them has been impressive. Their puck-out strategy, the whole lot. We're going to look now at some highlights of the first half, and when we come back we're going to be talking to some half-time guests. But first of all, we're going to take a look at some of the highlights of the first half from both teams. But Clare holding it up reasonably well, but eventually the Limerick number 10 gets away. Cueva lines from Monaleen, struck
Great
that
spot.
well, and that's straight over the bar. A really good start for Clare to put over first.
Great strike.
Clear scoring opportunity, and well, that's exactly what Chloe Murray does.
Get away with it in Camogie by throwing the ball forward or hand passing it forward. In hurling you can't do that, so maybe it's something that players should be working on if they're getting up in a tangle.
Cueva Costello does the needful, puts it to Murphy. She's breaking forward. Lovely ball to her half-forward colleague Cueva Lines. Cueva Lines trying to make room for the strike. Puts that straight over the bar, and that's a very impressive point.
She's a great player. Corner flags, you know you can't see them blown as much.
Well, if Cueva Costello puts over this, there'll be some
Great
free.
strike.
It's gone straight over the bar. That's an absolutely superb free from Murray. Standing over this now, she's taken 2 frees, but over one from 45 yards out. Missed the second one, doesn't miss this one, absolutely no doubt about it. And that's Clare's. Limerick hurl player gets the ball first. The ball is popped off as far as Chloe Murray. Chloe Murray hits that, and that's straight over the bar. Clare's third point, Chloe Murray's third point. Organised Limerick, our Clare player goes to ground. Chance now for Limerick's Cueva Costello. She creates the space, and that's an absolutely magnificent point from.
They take it on, that's what she brings to it. There was a mile of space in front of her, just got caught unfortunately for steps.
Karen O'Leary hits a dangerous ball in around, and it's banged into the back of the net. The ball broke back. Corner forward has it, Cueva Costello again. They're trying to create a bit of a space back as far as the full forward. She strikes it superbly. Rebecca DeLee straight over the bay. Back to Maura McGrath hits it from distance,
Straight
and
over
that's
the
a
floor.
great point. And that was
Went off
badly
the
needed.
floor. Badly needed. Mara did a great ball into.
Somebody might come out with it. Limerick do come out with it. Spread the play a small bit. Great chance of a point here. And it is straight over the bar yet again from Adair in towards the centre forward Deborah Murphy. Deborah Murphy has time, space, and a great opportunity to put over Limerick's 9th point. Super score. Murray stands over this, strikes it well. That's a good pure strike, no question, over the bar. Clare had a bad. Limerick now in space, and when Cueva Costello is in space, you might as well just put up the flag, and that's exactly what the umpire has done, because if you give her space, it's the hand up, brings it down well. This is good hurling from
Great
Clare,
score, Orla Duggan.
and that's a great score from Orla Duggan. And when you can bang a puck out. And you're welcome back live to Father McNamara Park, where I'm joined by Clare player, unfortunately, who's injured at the moment, Roisin McMahon. And Roisin, I'd say when you were thinking about talking to us at half time, you might have been thinking, what am I going to talk about? Because from a Clare point of view, like Limerick have totally dominated that first half.
Yeah, they're completely dominating. We just can't seem to get a hold on the game as such. 2 goals, we wouldn't have been expecting that going in at half time, and yeah, we just have to watch their runners coming through. We can't come to grips with that at all yet, so yeah, we just need to settle into it now and come out and drive at them.
And definitely a lot of Limerick's a lot of the facets of their play look very good, even from their puckouts. They look very organised. They can go short, they can go long, they're able to win ball, and they always seem to have, in nearly all parts of the field, they always seem to have a support runner, someone running off the shoulder either side.
Yeah, no, definitely. Their puckouts are, they're winning the majority of their puckouts. As you said, the wind is definitely a factor. It's going all the way in, past the half back line. Yeah, no, and like that, the runners as well coming through midfield. We just have to watch that. In the second half, we can't allow them to, be breaking through midfield and the half back line like that.
If you were in the Clare dressing room at the moment, Roisin, what do you think is needed? Do you think, do you think they need very straight talking, or do you need just to be settled down a bit and just run through, what the plan was before the game? Because whatever it was isn't working, and they need to either change it or start implementing whatever the plan was.
Yeah, no, I think, to be honest, everyone's going to be disappointed with that performance. We know that there's loads more in us, and I think we just need to settle down, remember what our game plan is, and try and implement that, because the first half, we just lost track of everything, so we just need to get back on track now for this half.
Okay, Roisin, thanks very much indeed for that. We're going to talk now, we're going to stick in the Market and Fergus. We're going to try to talk to Niamh Ryan as well at some point, the Limerick player who we spoke to before the game, so we're just trying to locate Niamh at the moment. So we're not alone going to stick in the Market and Fergus, we're going to stick with the McMahon family. We have Pádraig McMahon, Clare Echo journalist. So Paddy, your impressions of that first half?
Yeah, you wouldn't be overly too impressed with Peter. I don't know, is it nerves or what, but Clare just seemed they're panicking a lot. The short game can work very well, but when it doesn't go to plan, it's horrendous, and we're kind of seeing that at times. They're overcooking passes, or hand passes are going too low or too high. But again, last week, very positive from Clare in the opening half, but the negative was the concession of goals. Again, here today, we've conceded 2 soft goals, and often seems like Limerick they've a lot of space, but they nearly seem to have a spare player in attack a lot of the time. Caoimhe Costello doing an amount of damage. Caoimhe Lyons also dangerous up front, so a lot for Ger and the management to get through at half time, but just very disappointing that we've made the same mistakes 2 weeks in a row.
Caoimhe Costello, like her movement, her striking, she always, I suppose, is a sign of a really good player. She never looks as if she's in a rush, especially when she's striking the ball.
Exactly, and it's just this whole Limerick performance is very slick. Their movement off the ball is excellent. They're nearly showing us up what we should be doing. But it's a new management in for Limerick, very professional according to people in Limerick, and they're very happy with how it's going. But they're moving very well, moving the ball very well. Movement off the ball also impressive. But they just seem a lot more composed as well in comparison with Clare. We haven't got going at all, and only Orla Duggan there getting the point. Every other score for Clare had come from Chloe Morey. We don't seem to have much of a danger in up front in attack, which was kind of evident a small bit last week as well. We don't really have a goal threat. I know Becky Foley had the chance on goal, but until those issues are going to be rectified, it's just a disappointing outcome so far.
One thing, Paddy, that I thought was significant during the first half water break was that Limerick split into 2 groups. They had the forwards on one side of the field and the backs and the midfielders at the other side. Obviously different coaches talking to each group, but just a sign of how organised they are.
Yeah, and they were in here. The junior match was only finished about 5 minutes, and their management team were arriving and they were ready to rock. So it is a very professional side, and even as you say, to do that with the water break just shows they're very tuned in as to what they know. Forwards don't need to be listening to what the backs are doing, so it's very simple. But you'd hope the messages coming in Clare, they have a nice bit of a lead to cut back, but this it seems to be the scoring goal anyway from the 2 games we've seen today, so hopefully Clare will show that. But a couple of changes in attack, I would say, are definitely needed.
Just a final point, Paddy, as match referee Justin Heffernan comes out onto the field. Limerick will be delighted. They'll be trying to, I suppose, match the first half performance with a similarly standard second half performance. Clare, it's a huge half for Clare. They need to really up it.
Yeah, huge. And you'd say, bar maybe Clare Heher, a lot of those Clare players should be very disappointed with their opening half. Clare's got about 3 turnovers there in the opening half, whereas the remainder of the team haven't stood up to the mark. And again, it kind of goes back to the same point. Clare last year got a great win against Kilkenny in the league, and then the next game they went and lost to Waterford at home in Cratloe. So we had a fantastic first half against Galway last week, and then we've totally gone below par here today to start with. So you'd hope they can rectify it. As we said, this is the scoring goal, but they really need to lift it across the board collectively, Clare, to mount an attack in this game.
Pádraig McMahon from Clare Echo, thank you very much indeed for joining us at half time. Limerick have just come out and Clare out as well, so the second half just a few seconds away from being from the second half starting. And Marie, we were just saying there at half time that there's a huge second half ahead. Clare will be looking to, I suppose, transform themselves in this second half. Limerick will be looking for more of the same.
I just think that Clare probably haven't got going really, and I look, there's another 30 minutes yet to go. As the lads were saying, I think Clare Heher can stand over her performance, but everyone else, I don't know, we need to up the ante, get in a bit more physical, and try and break up a lot of what Limerick are doing. That's very easy to be saying when we're standing up here looking down top of it, but I think the Clare players now are surely going to get a reaction.
Yeah, it's a huge second half. Well, for both teams really. I mean, it is Limerick's first game of this league, but what a first half it's been. It was a blistering 30 minutes from Limerick. They absolutely outplayed Clare. And Clare know that the first 5 or 6 minutes of this second half are going to be pivotal, and they've won a free already, and Chloe Murray is going to take this. She's scored all but one of Clare's points in that opening half. She's standing over the free here, touch over 50 yards out. The breeze, it's a bit swirling, but it's definitely favouring Clare to an extent. Chloe Murray gets behind that really well, but unfortunately it goes wide. So well struck, didn't have the accuracy. It was
Limerick
close.
aren't waiting around either. I mean, straight out with the quick puck out, but the back seem to have made a mess of it, and Emer Kelly is bursting in.
Emer Kelly now in and goes. She's getting away from the Limerick number. The Limerick wing back, hits the post, comes back as far as her true Clare teammate, but she's blocked down. And that was a great opportunity for Anya Loughlin, but she was blocked down, and Limerick emerged with the ball, and Karen O'Leary has it from Newcastle West. She's had a great game in midfield, a very pacey player and also a great striker of the ball. Ciara Grogan battling for the ball on the far side of the field with Limerick's Cueva Lines, and Clare have it back now through Aoife Keane. Aoife Keane looking for a runner. She's making a good run herself, drives it in, but the goalkeeper keeps her eyeing the ball. Lovely distribution as well, and the Limerick left half back Roisin Ambrose puts the hand up and strikes that ball up the field, goes out near the sideline, but really well kept in play by Anya Cunningham. Anya Cunningham transfers as far as Deborah Murphy. Deborah Murphy takes it on. This is great play from Limerick. If they can get a score here, it would be a super score. Anya Cunningham now taking on Clare Ahern. Good defending from Clare. They held it up, but Anya Cunningham tapped the ball back as far as her teammate, the full forward Rebecca DeLee, but Rebecca DeLee gave the ball away, and it was nearly a perfect score from Limerick. Just didn't get the shot in at the end, but good defending, I have to say, from Clare.
Yeah, good defending, and Mara McGrath was in the thick of it again. She was looking for a quick free there from Clare Harher, but she didn't get it. Chloe pulled in the ball in the middle of the air. Emer Kelly tried to burst the net nearly a while ago and managed to hit it off the post. We just need a score to settle down.
Small bit of a ruck developing now. Karen O'Leary is in there for Limerick. It's picked up well though by Anya Loughlin. Anya Loughlin now taps it away or gets it as far as Emer Kelly, but frustration for Clare, as you said, dropped the hurley, free out.
It's a hard thing, to be honest. I think in the first game there was probably 6 or 7 where people are just so used to dropping the hurley and hand passing it, and unfortunately a handy free for Limerick to kind of settle down things. And you can hear Pat Ryan here saying steady the ship, and I think he'll probably want them to just get an easy 1 or 2 passes here and try and deliver the ball up the field.
Maria Ryan took a nice short free, found Roisin Ambrose. Roisin Ambrose strikes that ball up the field in towards the full forward line. 2 players clashed and go to ground. The referee doesn't blow a whistle. It wasn't a free, but it was just a bit of a clash, and a couple of Clare players got up a bit gingerly there, but seemed to be okay as Limerick emerged with that ball. Aisling Scanlon pops it off, play switched into the danger zone about 35 yards out. Limerick full forward battling. Rebecca DeLee, she picks it up ahead of Ciara Grogan. Can Rebecca DeLee create the angle for the shot? Great hands from Limerick. Their wing forward is in. It's a super shot and a great point from Cueva Lines, and I have to say Limerick are playing at a different level to Clare.
That's brilliant play right here from around the 45 to deliver the ball across, right across the centre. You'd be looking for that from any forward to try and get a run in along. And in fairness, a great point from Cueva Lines. She scored 3 points already. To undo justice to Rebecca DeLee, we gave her the goal in the first half, but actually it wasn't her, it was Cueva Costello that got it. But Rebecca has been involved in a lot of play already. She's doing very well.
Clare now needs something very, very quickly. They win a free in the far side of the field. So Chloe Moore is probably going to take this, and
difficult enough free right out over on the sideline.
It's at a bit of an angle. The last free wasn't quite as far out, and it went just wide. So Chloe Moore knows that Clare need every possible score they can get here to get back into this game. She strikes it well, hits it well. Let's see, does she have the accuracy? She doesn't, according to the umpire on the right hand side as he looks out. So that's a second successive wide from Chloe Murray from a dead ball, and also of course Clare hit the post as well through Emer Kelly. So they've had chances just to reduce the gap somewhat, but Limerick well in control, far side of the field now, and Clare's Becky Foley does well, but looks to hit it, fresh air, cut out well by the Limerick centre back Judith Mulcahy, drives it forward. Limerick playing the game at real pace. Their touch, their handling, their movement has been really impressive. Laura McMahon has it, and Clare eventually come out with Aoife Keane. Aoife Keane drives forward now, pops it off as far as her midfield partner Zian Spillane switches it outside her. Lovely crossfield ball. Anya Loughlin now out in front, but she's got two Limerick players around her and she's finding it difficult to win it. She's been outnumbered. It's won back by Limerick's Roisin Ambrose battling ferociously inside. Limerick emerge with it and win the free out, and that's, I suppose, a real example of Maria Ryan won the free. She's going to take it as well. She's looking for somebody to move, and Limerick always are looking for a couple of different options. If they can give it short, they'll give it short straight away. They'll build up the play. They have the support runners, and if they give it long, they seem to be confident that their inside players are able to win the ball as well as Clare make.
Aoife Keane has gone in there full forward. Anya Loughlin has gone off, and it's number 28 Roisin Begley. So Roisin will bring a bit of speed into this now. I suppose she's been involved in a lot of hockey and things like that, and she'll be a good player to bring into around the middle of the field. Aoife Keane going in full forward, you know, they might have a bit more of a goal threat and try and deliver the ball into her, and Ciara Grogan is trying to drive the ball there now.
6.5 minutes gone in the second half. It's 2-11 to 7 points, and Limerick's work rate up to this point at least, and far exceeds that of Clare. The Limerick player Sophie O'Callaghan went to ground, thought it might have been a push in the back, but the referee didn't see it that way. Mara McGrath takes it quickly, drives it in as far as Aoife Keane. Aoife Keane gets the better of the Limerick full back, has the shot, good save by the goalkeeper. She got the better there of Merlin Kramer and excuse me, got the shot away. And what you were saying there a minute or two ago is very true, that Aoife Keane is a danger in there. Referee playing advantage. If no advantage to Cruz is going to be a free in, and it is going to be a free in.
Myra did the right job there, you know, to deliver the ball straight away, because Limerick are only settling themselves back into the backs, and Aoife going in full forward is definitely a goal threat. And I suppose they need to get the ball, deliver it straight in on top for her, and see what happens. Free now for Chloe out in the far over
again
sideline.
It's a bit of an angle out near the sideline, not quite as far out as the last one.
Difficult though.
But still a difficult one, absolutely. Chloe Murray now strikes that a bit
Great
lower, and this time it does go over the bar. That's a very good point from Chloe Murray. It's Clare's 8th point, so it's 2-11 to 8 points. It's a 9-point game. Maria Ryan is free. Is she going to take the short puck out for the keeper? She's not, because the keeper instead, Laura O'Neill, tries to drive it long, where it's well picked up by Roisin Ambrose wearing number 7. The Limerick centre forward Deborah Murphy finds the wing back Megan O'Mara. She links up with Caoimhe Lyons, and Limerick's link-up play has been so good. It's been so impressive. Caoimhe Lyons still battling for it, surrounded by 2 or 3 Clare players, gets the pass off to her half-forward partner, who strikes that straight over the bar. Deborah Murphy, that's a great point, and you know, we don't want to, like, it's Limerick's first game in the league, Anne-Marie. I mean, they
seem to be slick, like,
it's
you know.
been a dream 40 minutes for Limerick.
Everything they're doing is slick, and that's Deborah Murphy's second point from play, and everything seems to be ball to hand or looking for an option. Oh, what a catch from Judith Mulcahy there.
That was a superb catch, under pressure, held on to it, and crucially as well, found the player with a good pass. Like, every time Limerick are able to win it, but they're also able to hold on to it. Like, they always seem to have a runner, as Clare now go route 1 to drive it in towards Aoife Keane, but the ball in just has too much legs, and it trickles harmlessly out over the end line, and that's a puck out for Limerick, and the puck out will be taken by
Clare making
Laura
up here. I think it's Robin Conway is coming on for Becky Foley. Robin Conway is number 19 on for Becky Foley, number 15.
So Robin Conway in as Clare make a few changes in the forward line. They know that they need to try to make something happen, but it's Limerick that are making it happen through Aisling Scanlon. Gets the ball forward in towards the full forward. She nudges Clare McMahon out of the way, and the full forward Rebecca DeLee is in. Can she get the shot off? Good defending on this occasion from Clare, who win the free out, and a bit of relief for Clare, because It looked very dangerous there as Rebecca DeLee cut through. She's so able to win a ball and carry it as well.
She brushed past Lauren McMahon there, which isn't an easy thing to do on any occasion. And Limerick are playing now with a bit of confidence.
Clare Herher drives the ball down the field in towards Aoife Keane again. She's wearing 9, which is playing a full forward, but she's beaten this occasion by Maureen Kramer, the full back from Cappamore, and the clearance goes out over the sideline. It's going to be line ball for Clare on the far side of the field. Chloe Morey is jogging over towards it.
That's probably the first time the Limerick ball hasn't gone to hand. That was the first time I'd say that, you know, she just overhit it a little bit, but they're confident enough to do a sharp pass like that 20 yards in front of them and try and get into the hand.
Chloe Morey is going to take this one now as Clare chased their 9th point. It's hit and it goes off the cornerback Marion Quaid out over the in-line, so it's going to be a 45. So a bit of a better angle here for Chloe Morey.
The breeze has picked up a bit.
It definitely has, and it's definitely favouring Clare. So there is that advantage. And Marie, if Clare were to manage to create a goal and take that opportunity, you know, the game could change. Like, while it looks, and while there has been a superb performance from Limerick so far, there's still about 20 minutes left, so it's not completely out of reach for Clare.
No, definitely not. I mean, a goal would make it a little bit of a closer affair. Jeez, Chloe is brilliant at spearing those balls straight over the bar. You know, she's taken the breeze into consideration. That was a great 45 again by Chloe. But you were saying that a goal will settle things down again another small bit if Clare could just get on the ball. Mara McGrath on it.
Mara McGrath has it now. What was a poor clearance from Limerick. Clare's Emer Kelly now takes it on. Emer Kelly pops it in towards her teammate Robin Conway. Robin Conway is in. She goes to ground. Referee doesn't blow the whistle. Umpire says it was wide. And another attack ends in frustration for Clare. But very good defending from Limerick as well. So sometimes forwards can be blamed for missing or not taking what looks like an opportunity, but sometimes it's down to good defending, and Limerick's defending generally has been of a very high standard, and that definitely contributed to that.
I know that Robin is trying to get a goal, but maybe tip over a few points at least till the water break, and then you'll have to go all hell for leather. But I think just take a few points and see, can we get maybe within 5 or 6, and then see what happens.
Justin Heffernan now blows the whistle on the far side of the field. It's a 9-point game, 2-12 to 9 points, and it's Limerick who have the 2-12 and Clare the 9 points. Mara McGrath is going to move into centre forward as Clare make another change here.
Claude O'Halloran from Newmarket and Fergus is coming on.
So Claude O'Halloran comes in.
Number 20 for Clare, Claude O'Halloran, and I'm just waiting to see who's gone off.
Claude O'Halloran wearing 20 comes in. So she's going to be looking to make an immediate impact. Clare need a couple of scores to make a game of this going into the last quarter. We're just over.
Taking off Aoife Keane.
Bit surprised at that.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you could get enough ball into Aoife Keane, she'd be good for a goal, but she did get a hard knock there as well in the first half, so maybe, trying to mind her.
Yeah, I thought Aoife Keane looked dangerous enough when she was getting early ball in when she moved in full forward. But Limerick through Aisling Scanlon now coming out with the ball. She pops it off as far as the wing back, Megan O'Mara. Megan O'Mara gives it inside to Mairead Ryan. Mairead Ryan up the line. Cueva Lyons trying to win it for Limerick. Referees
soft enough free now.
Whistle goes, and that's a free into Limerick from exactly halfway, just a small bit to the right of halfway, and this free is going to be taken by Cueva Costello, who has had, well, she hasn't been quite as evident in the second half. The play hasn't been in the Clare half of the field as much.
Someone put their hand on it. Well done.
Well
done, Alana Ryan.
Well brought down there by Alana Ryan.
Take it.
Excellent hurling from the Clare wing back from Kilkishen. And the free is going to be taken now by Clare. Clare drives it downfield, where Mara McGrath is battling for it up against Judith Mulcahy, the centre forward from Limerick, from the Ahane club. Mara McGrath goes to ground, and the referee blows the whistle. I haven't seen exactly what way. I think he's giving a free to Limerick.
I think he's kind of saying Mara was lying out a small bit, and I don't know, is he going to throw it in, or is he going to give a free towards Limerick?
Well, Limerick, next score!
It's close enough now to the second half water break, and the referee, he's having a word with one or two people on the sideline, and Maura
The
McGrath
lads
is
are after giving a bit of a spiel there, Tim, about that. I think they felt that it should have been a free to Maura McGrath, but Justin is heading for Connor and the lads. I think he's going to tell him to hit the road if he doesn't stop. In fairness, he's giving him a warning now, so I think
so
it should be alright.
Justin Heffernan having a word there with Conor Dolan. Maura McGrath is still on the ground. When play resumes, the free is going to be taken by Limerick's Mairead Ryan. We're very close as well now to the second half water break, and of course a point I suppose worth mentioning, we mentioned in the first game, and well worth repeating, today mightn't be going too well for Clare, but the 5-year sponsorship deal with EI Electronics Emery was great news.
Yeah, I suppose it's great to see a company so close to home, Shannon, and I think it's probably a renowned household name, and in fairness to McGinney and everyone down there, that they've put in such a long contract for Clare. 5 years is a long time, and in fairness it seems to be a good backing, and hopefully the county board and everyone involved will be able to make good use of the deal.
Ciara Grogan wins that ball well, wins the free. I think Ciara Grogan has done as much as she can.
Yeah, I thought a few minutes ago she might have been subbed because she'll kind of be limping around, but she seems to have been able to walk off the injury. But a good free for Clare, but everything seems to be a little bit slower. He's after doing the water break.
Nearly 17 minutes gone in the first half, so it is the second half water break, and it's going to have to be some water break, Anne-Marie, for Clare to get back into this. And Limerick again converge into two different groups, the backs at one side of the field and the forwards, and I'm not sure what side the midfielders are at. One of the midfielders is going with the forwards, and one with the backs, and again that's a sign of clear communication, because when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Trying to get a message across to 15 players, as most teams do in a water break, is a bit more difficult.
Yeah, and I suppose Pat is going between both, and I think that he has, I suppose, faith in the two lads that he has in passing on the message that he wants to get out to his players. He's letting the two coaches take control of what's going on, and he's going between both. But I said before the game, 2017 when Limerick won the Munster, they would have driven on and things kind of fell apart for Limerick, but they seem to have got the show back on the road here, and have been impressive. You couldn't be but in awe of the hurling that they're playing here today. Everything is so crisp and slick, and they seem to all have the exact same message and the plan. Everything is going to their plan, and it's good to watch.
Yeah, it really has been so impressive all over the field, and Limerick, their main aim at this stage now will be to close out what has been a very impressive performance for the three quarters of the game so far, to close out with the last roughly 15 minutes.
Go on, great catch.
Clare now win it.
Drop the hurley.
Referee says the hurley was thrown. That was a superb catch there. Great fielding from Chloe Murray. Laid it off, but the referee.
It's probably one of the new phrases that have been brought in that everyone seems to find very difficult to comprehend. I suppose it's just a natural thing, like when Cork are playing Camogie, it was always nearly a football game. They were dropping the hurley and hand passing the ball and running it. And over the last 2 weekends, I think probably I'd love to see the stats on how many times that people have dropped the hurley. It's probably the hardest one that everyone is trying to comprehend.
The lines person on the far side of the field is telling the Limerick goalkeeper Laura O'Neill to go back a bit. She goes back a couple of inches and drives the ball about 70 yards down the field. That's a super strike into the breeze. Ciara Grogan does well on the far side of the field. She's battled impressively cornerback for a defence that, particularly in the first half, was under enormous pressure. Orla Duggan has it now, drives it up the field as far as Robin Conway lets the ball go past her. Clare eventually win it back. Robin Conway has it again. She's being harassed by the Limerick halfback Megan O'Mara. Maura McGrath has it now, strikes that. Is it over the bar? It isn't. It drifts just to the right as we look at it from this side and wide. And the scoreline remains as it was. Limerick 2-12, Clare 9 points. This stream coming to you live on Channel Clare from Father McNamara Park in Ennis in the Littlewoods Ireland Division 1 League. A couple of Clare players go very high, but it's well read by Laura McMahon. She drives it forward as far as Emer Kelly. Emer Kelly now gets away from the Limerick number 7. She's in. Can she get a shot off? Roisin Ambrose is back, however, wins the ball back. That was good defending eventually from Limerick. It looked as if Emer Kelly was gone. Mairead Ryan emerges with the ball, wins the free out. Emer Kelly is down, and Clare are wondering how is that a free out, but yet again, you know, Clare sometimes running into cul-de-sacs.
And it was a promising enough run by Emer Kelly because Roisin Begley had done a clever little kind of, I'll say, a nice little nudge off the Limerick player and gave Emer free road in front of her, and it was a great run, but it seemed to be getting into trouble, or else Limerick are getting back in their troves to defend. But Emer is down now, injured at the moment. She has been doing well, you know, getting in and getting the runs, and it's just the final shot, or I suppose pass, is the problem. She's down now. She seems
the second half definitely hasn't been
more Limerick's way, yeah.
Yeah, like Clare have battled a bit harder, but in terms of scoring, I mean, they've both only added 2 points each. It was 2-10 to 7 points at half time, and it's now 2-12 to 9. So the scoring rate has deteriorated from a Limerick point of view as Alana Ryan wins that, strikes it forward, but will it stay in? It does. Emer Kelly is in.
Go on.
Shot.
Yes.
Goal. And Clare now got that badly needed goal. They needed that. There's 10 minutes left. So that's a good finish from Emer Kelly. It's back now to a 6-point game. And it seems like a long time ago on Marino that we were talking about the need for a goal.
Yeah.
That was a really good finish from Emer Kelly.
Yeah.
And it'll be very interesting now to see how Clare can react to this. If they can get the next score, I suppose that's called momentum, and we'll see what happens then.
And Alana did the right thing, get the ball in quickly as far as Emer and the forwards. Even for having Chloe inside there, I mean, she's savage to catch the ball. But they need to get that ball in there first and foremost.
Limerick win a hard ball now in the middle of the field, and they're breaking forward. It's a great run from Caoimhe Costello. Caoimhe Costello, can she get the shot in? She does, but she underhits it. Excuse me, and the ball is picked up and cleared by Darren Murphy to the far side of the field where Orla Duggan has it. 2 or 3 players around. Maura McGrath rushes in her attempts to win the ball back. Referee deems that it's a free to Limerick. There's been a pushing and shoving in the far side of the field.
It should have been a free to Clare first, to be honest.
And Limerick have the chance now to, from the Limerick point of view, they'll be very keen to get the next score and try to quell the momentum that that goal has, that small bit of momentum that Clare have, you know, subsequent to that goal from Emer Kelly. So it'll be interesting to see now, can Limerick hit back with a score themselves. Looking at the stopwatch, there is 8 minutes left of normal time. So, and there probably will be a couple of minutes of injury time as well, but at the moment it's a 6-point game. It's 2-12 to 1-9, and Conor Dolan is being asked to leave the stadium, Emery, by the referee.
Like, you know, you can remonstrate as much as you want, but the ref's never going to change his opinion. But I definitely thought over on the far sideline it should have been a free to Clare first. And, you know, there's nothing in the game. 6 points is nothing. And, you know, I suppose, look, he needs to fight his corner as well. 17, Dervla Egan, which is a great addition to be able to bring on for Limerick and take off Aisling Scanlon there at midfield. But Dervla, very experienced from Crecora. And she's been on the panel for a number of years now, and she's going to probably steady things and finish out the game for them.
So the free on the far side of the field is taken by Caoimhe Costa. She drives it in towards her full forward Rebecca DeLee. The ball breaks inside. Who's going to come out with this? Ciara Grogan is the person who comes out with it. Good play from Ciara Grogan, and Clare battling for the far side of the field. The flag goes up, and the line's person on the far side of the field says it's a Clare line ball. Bit of pushing and shoving there between 2 or 3 players. Roisin McMahon is, or Laura McMahon is in there, as is Maura McGrath. So let's see what the referee is going to do here. He's beckoning at somebody. I've no idea yet. Is it a Limerick or Clare player? And the Limerick wing back Megan O'Mara is making her way towards the referee. So the referee is taking note of how it's going to be yellow, I presume, and he does flash the yellow card at the Limerick wing back, Megan O'Mara. So when play, calm has been restored, I suppose, and the free is going to be taken by Laura McMahon.
Do you know what?
So let's see now. In terms of time left, there's about 6 minutes left. There's 6 points in it.
Liz is after telling him now that a Clare player is shoved the hurley against the Limerick player. He's gone looking now for Myra McGrath, and she has definitely told him that there was a bit of pushing and shoving.
So Justin Heffernan is on a search, as you said, Anne-Marie, presumably for Myra McGrath. He's identified Mara.
She's going to get a yellow as well now, yeah.
He's going to presumably take her name and give the yellow card. And play, I assume, will eventually resume. He's given the card. It is yellow, and next whistle we'll hear presumably will be that the game is restarting with this long-awaited free. It's been a while since we mentioned there was a free in the first place, and the free is going to be taken by Alana Ryan.
Sideline, in fact. Give the free.
I thought it was a free. I assumed it was a free, but turned out to be a sideline. Limerick win it back. Rebecca DeLee now is in. She's got a bit of space. She's getting away from Ciara Grogan, Clare Hare. Can she get to strike in and the point? The answer is yes. It's a 7-point lead, 2-13 to 1-9, and psychologically, Anne-Marie, to stretch the lead from 6 to 7 is big with 5 minutes left.
You know, you can always claw it back when you're only 2 scores in it. It's only 2 pucks of the ball, but that security of the point then might see out the game.
Clare now trying to do something about this, and that's was a decent strike, but unfortunately it went well wide from Roisin Begley. Definitely no harm in having the strike, but it didn't have the accuracy. And now Limerick's Laura O'Neill is not going to go short with this one. She drives it long up towards Ciara Grogan's territory, where it's won by Orla Duggan. Orla Duggan gets it forward as far as Roisin Begley. Roisin Begley hits that ball up the field, but it's cut out by the Limerick centre forward Deborah Murphy, who's playing quite deep at the moment. Limerick now have a bit of space inside the full forward line, and their number 13 Anya Cunningham is trying to win it, but she goes all over the end line, and that was good defending there from Clare's Susan Daly at cornerback wearing number 17. So this line ball is going to be taken out by Alana Ryan. Clare need to get the ball up the field as fast as possible, needless to say, and Limerick's priority is to keep the ball exactly where it is, and to defend from the front, and maybe create 1 or 2 more scoring opportunities, which they might well do now. They've got a chance here through Sophie O'Callaghan. She's breaking forward, getting away, pops it off as far as the midfielder who strikes that over the bar. Karen O'Leary, super point. 2 crucial scores in succession from Limerick, stretching 6-point leads to 8. So Clare did get the goal. They had been 9 points down. They got the goal, they brought it back to 6, but just didn't follow that up. Get it back to a 4 or 5 point game to make a real game of it. And Limerick have, I would think, it's a bit of a cliche to say it, but I would think, Anne-Marie, that they've weathered the storm, unless Clare somehow managed to get a goal from this attack.
Yeah, look, Clare got a goal the last time when they did this, and Myra took it quickly, so just a little bit too fast for Chloe. No one seemed to be paying attention inside.
And the goalkeeper was the Limerick goalkeeper, Laura O'Neill. Very clever play as well. Won the ball and then found a teammate. The referee had his hand up for quite a while before Clare won back that ball. He was playing advantage, and Limerick are in absolutely no rush at all to take this free. Megan O'Mara is going to take it.
They're probably just play down the time now. What are we, 29? Probably there'll be 2 or 3 minutes of additional time to that, and I'd say they're just going to try and poke the ball down as far as the wings as much as possible. Dervla Egan on this ball. Dervla
Egan been battling for it, but she's beaten, and Ciara Grogan picks up the pass with the white helmet, hits the ball infield, trying to hit it across the field, but it kind of went infield. But Clare do well to win it back with Roisin Begley. Roisin Begley now has definitely added a good bit of pace, drives it in. Is the ball going to break? The referee is playing advantage. Had put his hand up as Roisin Begley was striking, so much of an advantage didn't come for Clare, and the free is going to be behind
And Roisin Begley has
45.
serious speed. Like you'd see her in club level, that she once she gets on the ball, she's straight through. I suppose it's a different kettle of fish here, but she should be looking to get on the ball and split through right through the middle and look for someone to pass the ball off over the shoulder. But Moira, I'd say, is just going to drop this in now and see what happens.
Moira McGrath. Well, I think that's probably gone over the bar. Hits the post. Comes back, 2 Limerick players, 1 Clare player battling for it. The Limerick wing back nearly won it back. Emer Kelly has it. Emer Kelly now taking on Roisin Ambrose. Mairead Ryan in there as well. Great defending from Limerick. And it's cleared by Murren Kramer. And as impressive as Limerick were in an attacking sense in the first half, I think their defence have been equally as impressive for most of the second half. Deborah Murphy has it now. It switches the play to the far side as far as Karen O'Leary. Great vision there from Deborah Murphy. Karen O'Leary takes on the play. Looks up, not the greatest ball to her inside forward. Well cut out inside by Susan Daly. Susan Daly doing well inside in cornerback. The clearance is cut out, however, by Caoimhe Costello, one of Limerick's most impressive players. Crossfield ball, it could be dangerous. It's picked up by Rebecca DeLee inside. She's battling as hard as she can for it, along with her teammate Caoimhe Lyons. Clare, however, do well to cut out that attack, and Zian Spillane has it in the middle of the field. Links up now with Roisin Begley. Roisin Begley looks up, strikes first time in towards Chloe Murray. Chloe Murray puts the hand up. I was going to say brought it down, nearly brought it down, but by the time the ball had come down, there was 2 or 3 Limerick defenders around Mairead Ryan battling for it. Limerick win it back, and the cornerback comes out with it, Marion Quaid, and that's great defending from Limerick. Maybe the ball in as Deborah Murphy wins it for Limerick, but Clare win it back. Zian Spillane trying to take on 2 or 3 Limerick players.
Begley.
Clare now can spread the ball to the far side where Alana Ryan is free. Alana Ryan takes on Limerick's Sophie O'Callaghan, gets past her, gets it in as far as Robin Conway. Robin Conway goes to ground. We could hear the hurleys clashing out here. Excuse me, that's a free into Clare. They're probably going to have to go for a goal as Limerick make a double substitution. They're bringing in
Niamh Curtin,
Lisa Linnard and Niamh Curtin. So 2 Limerick substitutes coming in as the game is now in injury time. We've 31 minutes gone, so not too sure how long the referee is going to play. Limerick's number 13, Anya Cunningham, is one of the 2 players substituted along with Megan O'Mara,
5.
the wing back. So Chloe Murray now is going to take this free eventually, and is she going to go for a goal or what's she going to do, or will she just decide to tap it over the bar? She does go for the goal, and it's saved on the line, and Limerick's cornerback Mairead Ryan comes out with it. There was one back by Roisin Begley. Roisin Begley has been involved in a lot of the plays since she's come in, gets it back as far as Laura McMahon. Laura McMahon drives it in. That looks as if it's gone straight over the bar. The umpire concurs, and that's Clare's 10th points. 2-14 to 1-10. It's a 7-point game, and we're well into injury time. We're 2 minutes into injury time, and there's probably about 2 minutes left. I just saw the lines person putting her hand up there. I think she said it was 4 minutes in total of injury time. There's 2 already gone, so about 2 to go. Can Clare somehow mount a very, very late charge, or will Limerick, as they have done for most of this game, continue to control it both in defence and attack? They were very impressive in the first half in attack, and in the second half have defended very well. Limerick's Karen O'Leary is in now. She gets it in as far as the number 12 and the full forward now has a shot. Eventually Rebecca DeLee, but the shot is saved well by Darren Murphy. That was good goalkeeping from Darren Murphy, and eventually Clare win the free out deep into injury time. 7-point game, 2-14 to 1-10.
A good save by Darren Murphy there. You know, when you're under pressure and Limerick are slowing things down, hitting the ball back over the bar. Look, it's been a blistering pace by Limerick. You know, Clare haven't been able to match it.
Yeah, they just haven't, and that's the reality of it, as we are now 3 minutes into injury time. Clare launching 1 or 2 more attacks, but cut out that time, magnificently cut out by Judith Mackay. Put the hand up, brought it down and struck it up the field. Clare have it at the far side of the field through Clare Herher. Clare gives it to Alana Ryan. Alana Ryan breaks forward, but the ball over the top to Roisin Begley is going to be cut out. as Todd O'Halloran battles for it. It should be cut up by Roisin Ambrose. I think referee says that the Limerick player
lying on the ball,
was lying on the ball. So it's going to be a free in to Clare, and the free is going to be taken probably it's going to be taken by,
look at Roisin Begley out the back.
Emer Kelly. So let's see, is she going to tap it over the bar, or is she going to just lob it in and hope that somebody gets a hurley to it? She hits it well, and puts it over the bar. It's down now to 6 points, 214 to 111. So that's 20 points to 14. But we've had 4 minutes of injury time at this stage. So referee says end of story, and that is it in this Division 1 Littlewoods Ireland league game here at Father McNamara Park in Ennis. It finishes Limerick 214, Clare 111, and we have to say, Anne-Marie, that was an exceptionally impressive display from Limerick.
Yeah, in fairness, look, and I think coming here today, we learned a lesson last week in the junior that they are so well organised and their play is so slick. They worked very hard for each other. There was a number of rucks throughout the game that Limerick came out of, and I suppose if you were to look at the Limerick team, Caoimhe Costello had an outstanding first half, a little bit quieter in the second half, but still, she contributed 2 goals, which were the deciding factor in the final score. I thought the Rebecca did well. Their defence was brilliant. Judith Mulcahy there, Mairead Ryan got an awful lot of ball. Number 7, Roisin Ambrose, who was a slight, small girl. She was on an awful lot of rucks and balls there. I thought for the Clare team, Alana Ryan could genuinely put her hand up and say that she played well. Ciara Grogan, I thought she was going to have to be subbed at one stage because she got an awful bang, but she did play well. Look, Chloe, as ever reliant as always, she got the bulk of the scores again, which is probably going to be a worrying thing for Clare, but at least they're still getting scores. Emer Kelly proved what she can do, a goal and a point. Unlucky not to get another run or two in along for a score, but I don't know, Clare, I don't know what happens after this now, but Clare will have to refocus and resettle things. There's a long year ahead yet. I think we've 5 or 6 weeks of championship anyway, so Clare will be looking to keep going and try and get more game time into the subs. And I'm surprised actually Greta Hickey probably didn't get a run today. I don't know if she injured or not, but someone who came on in Nolan Park not last year, I suppose, in the league, and she scored a great point. So time maybe to get a bit more game time into those players, but in fairness, Clare or Limerick were just a different class.
There's absolutely no doubt about it, and that's the reality. I thought in the first half Limerick showed what an attacking threat they were. So their attacking play was absolutely superb, but in the second half they showed that they can play it the other way as well. They can defend really well. Their full back line was tremendous. The 2 cornerbacks, Marion Quaid, Mairead Ryan, Morden Kramer at full back, they were so solid. You mentioned Judith Mulcahy, Karen O'Leary in the middle of the field. They were, their work rate was really good. Like, they were prepared to battle for ball, and then they were well set up as well then in terms of their support play, and they were able to play direct as well at times too.
And that's the play that they're obviously trying to develop down there, because that's what happened last week, and I think Pat will be delighted that above in Carlow they got a draw today in the juniors as well, so they've had a good display in both camps today. Pity that he obviously didn't get to go to both, but I think that Limerick are up and coming, and they really have bought into the setup that's there now, and that's obviously coming from a rejuvenated county board, and everyone is getting behind them. And I suppose we've been talking about county boards for maybe the wrong reasons for the last couple of months, but Limerick have obviously got things together and are really looking to build on that, and in fairness, you couldn't take anything away from Limerick today. They were just class from the get-go.
Okay, well that is it from Father McNamara Park here in Ennis. It's finished Limerick 214. A reminder, Clare 111 in the Littlewoods Ireland Division 1 league game. Thanks to everyone who helped out as we see Limerick and Clare going through their, I suppose, final warm down exercises. Thanks very much to Anne-Marie McGann for her co-commentary in the senior game. Thanks to Bríd McNamara for her co-commentary in the junior game, which we live streamed as well. Thanks to everyone here who helped us out at Channel Clare, Alan Foodie, Mike Curry, Siobhan Hare, Tracy Whelan on sound. Thanks to everyone who spoke to us as well at half time in the junior game, before the senior game, and at half time in the senior game as well. So for myself, Peter O'Connell, we hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for viewing, and we'll talk to you again soon. But Clare holding it up reasonably well, but eventually the Limerick number 10 gets away. Cueva Lyons from Monaleen struck
Great
that
spot.
well, and that's straight over the bar. A really good start for Clare to put over first.
Great strike.
Clear scoring opportunity, and well, that's exactly what Chloe Murray does.
Get away with it in Camogie by throwing the ball forward or hand passing it forward. In hurling you can't do that, so maybe it's something that players should be working on if they're getting up in a tangle.
Cueva Costello does the needful, puts it to Murphy. She's breaking forward. Lovely ball to her half-forward colleague Cueva Lyons. Cueva Lyons trying to make room for the strike. Puts that straight over the bar, and that's a very impressive point.
She's a great player. Corner flags, you know you can't see them blown as much.
Well, if Cueva Costello puts over this, there'll be some
Great
free.
strike.
It's gone straight over the bar. That's an absolutely superb free from Murray. Standing over this now, she's taken 2 frees, put over one from 45 yards out, missed the second one, doesn't miss this one, absolutely no doubt about it, and that's Clare's. Limerick hurl player gets the ball first. The ball is popped off as far as Chloe Murray. Chloe Murray hits that, and that's straight over the bar. Clare's third point, Chloe Murray's third point. Organised Limerick, our Clare player goes to ground. Chance now for Limerick's Cueva Costello. She creates the space, and that's an absolutely magnificent point from.
Take it on, that's what she brings to it, and there was a mile of space in front of her, just got caught unfortunately for steps.
Karen O'Leary hits a dangerous ball in around, and it's banged into the back of the net. The ball broke back. Corner forward has it, Cueva Costello again. They're trying to create a bit of a space back as far as the full forward. She strikes it superbly. Rebecca DeLee straight over the back to Maura McGrath hits it from distance, and that's a great point, and that was badly needed.
Badly needed. Maura did a great ball into.
Somebody might come out with it. Limerick do come out with it, spread the play a small bit. Great chance of a point here, and it is straight over the bar yet again from Madeira in towards the centre forward Deborah Murphy. Deborah Murphy has time, space, and a great opportunity to put over Limerick's 9th point. Super score. Murray stands over this, strikes it well. That's a good pure strike, no question, over the bar. Clare had a bad. Limerick now in space, and when Cueva Costello is in space, you might as well just put up the flag, and that's exactly what the umpire has done, because if you give her space, it's the hand up, brings it down well. This is good hurling from
Great
Clare,
score,
and that's a great score from Orla Duggan. And when you can bang a puck out, create the angle for the shot. Great hands from Limerick. Their wing forward is in. It's a super shot and a great point from Cueva Lyons. And I have to say, still battling for it, surrounded by 2 or 3 Clare players, gets the pass off to her half-forward partner, who strikes that straight over the bar. Deborah Murphy. Alana Ryan wins that, strikes it forward, but will it stay in? It does. Emer Kelly is in.
Go on.
Shot.
Yes.
Goal. And Clare now got that back. Rebecca DeLee now is in. She's got a bit of space. She's getting away from Ciara Grogan, Clare Hare. Can she get the strike in and the point? The answer is yes. It's a 7-point lead. Now they've got a chance here through Sophie O'Callaghan. She's breaking forward, getting away, pops it off as far as the midfielder, who strikes that over the bar. Karen O'Leary come in, gets it back as far as